right, here we go. Digital Soapbox TV. It's your boy Big Steel, and I'm on here live with one of the legends, my homeboy Kokane. Jerry Long,
Well,
the legend. What's happening with you, man?
oh man, you got it. What's up, Big Steel?
Oh man, I'm just chilling, dog. I know you broadcasting from out overseas right now. Where you at right about now?
I'm in Mayhem, Germany.
Live from overseas in Germany, man. I had to hit
Yeah.
you up, man, because lately the internet don't been on fire, man. You know, Daz got the world on fire right about now, man, with all this stuff
Right.
about the accusations about Snoop Dogg stealing royalties and stuff, man. What do you think
Right.
about the situation?
I mean, it's a touchy situation. I kind of understand my dad's frustration, but his his argument, it's a tricky business we in, put it like that. And I tend to stay out the way of a lot of things, but just certain things, when people ask me those questions, I'm a truth seeker. So I'm into telling the truth. You know what I mean? And I think Daz, has some validity to what he's talking about because it's like, I'm gonna be brutally honest, man. Like, you know, I don't like to let the cat out the bag or damn sure ain't bandwagon. I'm a legend. I've been in the game a long time before any of these artists have done what they've done. You know what I'm saying? So I can only really talk about my participation in certain things. And then when I think about, what Daz is saying and what he's talking about, and, you know, sometimes you got to vote for the underdog, which he really ain't an underdog. I think he's done some incredible things in this game. Um, he's definitely a pillar of the West Coast doing this stuff. And I can kind of equally yoke relate to that because I'm going to tell you something. As far as that concerned, I don't say much, but I don't know what a royalty looks like at Doghouse. I've never got paid for any
Yo, pause.
royalties I've ever done doing records for that particular
Pause it for me.
individual. So
Yeah,
I kind of
that's
like,
right right
play the
now.
devil's advocate. And
So herein lies the problem, right? First of all, these people have been doing bad business practices since Eazy-E, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember back in the 56th Street days. There used to be this nigga who lived on 56th Street. He never was from 5-6 Hustlers. None of that shit. Nigga name was Sean Bell.
yeah, I remember him.
And his mama lived next door to Miss Farmer, but he couldn't come outside. He couldn't play with his none of that shit. But
I
she would
remember.
let me
Yep,
go
I
to his
remember
house.
him.
Him. Long story short, this nigga could rap, right?
Uh,
And he was good with the lyrics. He could look at people. He used to write people's raps. Like
yeah,
I wrote a girl rap in the neighborhood and told her how to say it and all that shit. This is like he could write shit to fit people's personality. So he was a perfect ghostwriter, right?
yeah,
This nigga, and this was way back when it was early days of NWA and all of the fame of everybody wished they could be down with NWA kind of days, those days. And this
yeah,
nigga signed a record, I guess like a songwriter's contract or some shit.
yeah,
$40,000 was the contract. Was a $40,000, right?
yeah,
And it was like a 15-year contract for $40,000, and in the contract it said that the $40,000 had to buy an Acura, and it had to be owned by Ruthless Records, but he could drive it as long as he worked for the company. So I'm saying all that to say that I've known about these horrible contracts from these black business owners for a very long time.
yeah.
Easy did it to people. Suge did it to people. I'm sure a bunch of other labels, you know what I'm saying? The people say this shit about it, Cash Money, and a bunch of other people, right? So I'm saying all that to say this. With this Kokane, I'm listening to this Kokane interview. Now, he's going into it, basically defending Daz or giving Daz's props for why he might need some money. But then he
Yeah.
throws in this huge nugget about himself that he
A
never got
huge
no
nugget. A huge
huge nugget, right? That means that he could go on and on about his own royalties now being given. But it just goes to show the pattern of what's going on. And I'm sure Snoop Dogg probably was worked over by Suge, contract wise. But you know,
I mean, that's just always been part of the music business.
right?
But when you've done this X amount of songs with a person and have never given them a one two on any one of them, that's a whole different ball game right there, man. Come on,
I gotta
Snoop,
say this.
man.
I gotta say this before you start push play. I'm often it goes back to that 20 years later I was raped story. This happened a long time ago, but I was raped. If you've worked for a company for that fucking long and never saw a royalty, why in the fuck were you still there? I'm not understanding. It's 20 years later, I never received a royalty compensation. That's just you're not nobody even putting a finger in your booty. You're just, you know what I'm saying? You don't even have to, you know what I'm saying? You could just leave. So knock it off.
I mean, wait to the truck about you absolutely right. I mean, dude, I think he said he did 67 songs with Snoop. You did all them songs and ain't never seen a royalty on them. Not one of them. I'd have stopped a long time ago. But let's go and see what they talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I really understand what Dash is talking about because it's like, dang, you know, he done all that stuff with Tupac and he deserves to get credit. And it's sad that us as a culture, the melanated people, do not know how to give credit when credit is due. And at the same time, you know what I'm saying? It is some of these people act worse than our slave masters. You feel me? Back in the days, and that's not cool because people put on the perception, and this could be anybody as far as they're concerned. But the truth will always remain the truth. And at the same time, I'm saying I didn't get paid my royalties and different things. I also understand what God designed is, even though I've never got paid one royalty, you know, for all the records and songs I've done, I think I'm about the outside of the doghouse, outside of the camp from back in the 90s. Snoop and I have done the most songs with each other, but I don't know what a royalty looks like. But at the same time, I'm letting everybody know I've been royalty, so you can take them royalties and shove it up your ass if that's how you get down. You know what I'm saying? So enough of the bull crap. No man runs this planet. If God is with you, who can stand against you? It does not matter. This is not about me bashing one individual and bandwagon. It's just simply expressing myself and telling the whole world, man, I playing the devil's advocate. I relate to the underdog, which really ain't a underdog. Is Daz Dillinger. He's doing his thing. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, I took a step back because I don't really know what's really going on. I haven't followed Mr. Calvin Brodus for the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I discontinued and disassociated myself with that whole environment and that whole energy. And it does me good, man. You see, I'm over here in Germany and we on some multi-million dollar missions right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to just get away from the fact that I got ripped off. You know what I'm saying? And just get it out of my conscience. You know what I mean? And time I did that, the Lord always answers your prayers. You know, no one man shut the lights on and off in this business. And if you hear me talk, hey man, heed the warning, brother, because you cast the first stone without seeing. It's like you talk a good game, but then you turn around and if this is true, I can only speak about true for me, but if this is true with Daz, you turn around and shit on your own peoples. I don't care how big you get in this game. You treat people the way you want to be treated, and it's accountability for everything that you do. Because if you don't think karma's gonna hit you, you're a fool that's narcissistic. You understand? And it's like the last time I stopped going over there, it's like they did the we are, you know, wall thing. We all we got.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so cold, bro, because it was cold because I was over there doing something. I'm like thinking things is cool. And I was over there, did something with Goldie. But then when I went into the main room, bro, do you know what they had the nerve to do? I think it was Half Dead or him. They played the Easy E diss song and thought I
Bruh.
was just gonna sit up there and listen to that. Like you dissing my homeboy and everybody's laughing and here. Like, and I'm looking around the room and I'm like, you know what? Let me get up out of here. So that was the last time. That was the last straw. I discontinued myself, from following him. I don't have to follow you. You don't shut the lights on and off for me. You know what I'm saying? I got all my bread back. And like I said, I've been royalties. You can take them royalties that you took, you know what I'm saying, or that your people's took, and you can live with it. My thing is, I'm handling my business a little bit different.
I paused it for a minute. Um, and like I said, we ain't even got to the dad part yet. Um, so I guess we'll just make that a part two.
Yeah,
Um,
part two. And I want to say something real fast because after we just paused before, and I was saying about you know there's no real justification to staying so long if you wasn't seeing no royalties, right? But the more I listen to this guy, he keep throwing God in there, so he clearly has a spiritual religious view of these things. He keeps saying like the things of the karma, although Christians don't refer to karma as reap what you sow as Christians, but it's some of the
yeah,
same concept of if you keep putting evil out, then evil will come back to you. And that's kind of what he's kind of like saying, like, I'm not really tripping for myself.
yeah,
If he working over Daz, you know what I'm saying? I was worked over too, but if he's working over Daz, the karma for that is really bad. I'm not tripping because you know what I'm saying. So I think he's looking at it from a like God got me kind of position.
and if I'm not mistaken, Kokane is in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most features. He got he,
Oh
he got
wow.
he got the most on any artist. Um, but remind me of you as far as no matter what's going on, God is in control. You know what I'm
Real
saying?
talk.
And I can, like I be telling you, I got to get to that point. But back to Big Snoop. Um, you did over the east side a long time ago, and
Mm.
Creighton shot at your butt. You know what I'm saying? Um, you done cocaine over as your blood cousin, and trying to get you're trying to who calling me, man? You're trying to get I don't even want to hit the decline because I don't want it to actually take the video off. Hold on for a minute.
Let that shit
Your
go to
blood
voicemail.
cousin. You kicked him off of Jeff Rowe because he won't. You kicked him off of Jeff Rowe because he won't hand over his publishing. It's like, but we're gonna get more in depth with that. But um, yeah, man, and Tupac had a problem with you before he passed away. When you just really thinking about it, Snoop,
Yeah.
you ain't as cool as people thought you were, bro. Um, anyway, we gonna listen to a little bit more of it because we pretty much got the gist of what he's saying. And then we're gonna end this one, and then tomorrow we'll get on to Daz Dillinger because Daz is so important to Death Row. It's ridiculous, man.
It's
And
yeah,
he
there is
don't,
there is no death row. There is definitely no dog pound. You know, it's a
yeah.
lot of there's like we
Yeah,
talking about the brand, when we talking about the brand, there is no brand death row
yeah,
without Daz. Period.
but, but 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 just some of the songs he produced, like on the All Eyes on Me album and things like that,
Yeah,
and a
the
lot
things
of
that we
songs that people
identify death row with.
yeah, and a lot of songs that people had thought that Dr. Dre had produced, it was Daz Dillinger. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention, he got the OG the real masters. You know what I'm saying? He like, I'm not finna skip done over. Anywho, we're gonna listen to a little bit more. And then we're gonna go in here.
Different the way other people would handle their stuff, but being
Well, that might be cute in you.
What, it stopped? In no more video?
Yeah, yeah. And not to mention, I didn't even try to compress it or nothing. I'm like, I hear it. We got to do this. You know what I'm saying? Um, but like I said, we pretty much got the gist. Snoop, you didn't have and Cocaine, you've been on some of your classic songs, nigga. And you ain't paid the homie, man. You ain't taking care of your niggas, man. What's up with you, Snoop?
And you know,
Man, bro.
this obviously shows a scandalous side of Snoop that some people are aware of. Some people just now finding out about.
Yeah,
More to come out, type of shit, right? But I have to first of all, I have to give it up to Daz. I was never a huge Daz fan. I like his beats way more than his lyrics.
yeah,
Um, but I do have to get up to his business acumen. He had shit in place to where the
yeah,
motherfucker, he's not, you know, and I respect Cocaine's position in regards to, like, I'm gonna be all right type of thing, right?
yeah,
Daz made sure he was gonna be all right. He made sure he, copyrighted
yeah.
the dog, the paw print. He
Exactly.
copyrighted certain shit. He made sure that his, what I'm saying, he made sure that he put the extra little bit of money to make sure shit was a percentage of his. So,
Yeah.
he still gets some Tupac money. I mean, he's smart with his business. I
And,
respect that.
and, and, and when you really think about it, yeah, like I said, that's messed up what you done, Snoop. But Cocaine done hooks for Eminem,
Hmm.
D12. I mean, everybody you can think of, Nipsey Hussle, everybody you can think of. So I'm pretty sure they gave him, you know what I'm saying, a little something, you know what I'm saying?
But there's two things
So this thing is,
we having two different conversations. One conversation is if he was that much features, right? On a feature, you either um negotiate to have some sort of percentage of that record sale, or you get paid to be on the feature, right? Some people just like you hear people like Future say, I don't do nothing under 150,000 or whatever, right? So you have that feature money, and then if you get the feature money, you probably have nothing to do with the publishing and all of that. So with all of
yeah.
those, he should have been a little bit more savvy to get some of those. Every time this song is played, I get a quarter kind of a negotiation as opposed to some money in his hand.
And not to mention, you know the saying, there's always two sides to every story. So I'm pretty sure because Snoop went off on his cousin, so I'm pretty sure he gonna have something to say. Well, whether that's nigga, I gave you 10,000 up front for the song. That's it. You don't get no royalties. You just a feature on the hook. You know what I'm saying? We
I
gonna
must,
see. You know what I'm saying?
I must, I
Because
must say
like
though,
because like you said, I can't see no man doing 67 songs and never been paid, and continue to do them. He has got to have got some. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? We'll find
yeah.
out more though. But yeah,
And I
we're
want to
gonna
say this
sign
too.
this one on up.
Let me just say this though
But
before we sign off. This is the downfall of Snoop Dogg in a way. Like we see a lot of people. Shout out to Cat Williams because he said this back in 2024. Shit just gonna come
yeah,
out, bro. All of these,
yep,
all of these scandalous ways you've done, all this undermining, the shit is finna be exposed. So Snoop Dogg is
yep.
no different from Diddy. He's no different from any of these other dudes who's getting exposed and getting their whole empires, collapsing. Snoop Dogg just didn't get caught up in those scandalous sex tape type of shit. This clearly is because don't get me wrong. I don't know if you remember, he was just in trouble for the Trump stuff.
I
Snoop
mean, for
Dogg.
performing here,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the nigga, there's a very famous tape from when Trump was famous president the first time, where this nigga Trump,
yeah,
dog said, "Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna perform for him?" And
exactly. I seen that. I
that
seen
tape
that.
lives on in infamy because you were the jigaboo that performed for him.
Exactly, exactly,
See what I'm
exactly,
saying? So he was
exactly.
already getting clowned by the community for that. He had kind of like that was kind of like
And
over,
and
but now
and and, and you think about K Dot with the
oh
Ray with
yeah,
the edibles. It's just like, bro,
yeah.
you ain't
His
what's
name
up,
has not been
Snoop?
yeah, he been doing some
Like,
questionable shit.
like a motherfucker. Um, Anyway, we gonna sign on. I mean, but Snoop has always just been the ambassador, you know what I'm saying? And now we starting to see chinks in his armor, man.
Come out.
Man,
It's gonna come
exactly,
out.
exactly, exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna sign on off. Mr. Downtown Jimbo Brown, Mr. 24 years free. Yeah, dang, yours that just rolled up for a second. Cool, that was the first one in like 2 or 3 episodes now. Then we're gonna sign on off to the next episode. We're gonna hear from Dad Dillinger and from Mr. Snoop. Y'all fuck you up. Now physically, business wise.
We could do 2 or 3 more episodes of this one because I want to go over that tape when Snoop said that. I mean, there's a few things that you know what I'm saying.
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna uh edit a slice of what Dad said and what Snoop said, put it on the same little video and play it on here. Then we could just critique it without having to put more than one video up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, for sure. This was a good
All
one
right.
though. I enjoyed this.
Yeah. And like I said, we get better. We working on the kinks. Before you know it, we'll be a well-oiled machine. Shit, you know what I'm saying?
For
Anywho,
sure.
to the next episode, like Dr. Dre said, yeah,
Hey.